Welcome to the Rise of She, the empowering podcast that celebrates the unstoppable force of women. I'm your host, Prita Bolaki, and together we will shatter the glass ceilings, rewrite the rules, and reveal the extraordinary power within each and every woman. Join me as we redefine heroism, demanding the world to acknowledge that the word hero is just an O without her. Discover with me how women can unleash their internal potential, demand equitable pay that reflects their true worth, vanquish insecurities, conquer work-life balance, and embrace profoundly fulfilled lives. If you like my podcast, feel free to connect with me on Instagram and Facebook for an empowering journey like no other. Find me at Prita Bolaki and let's ignite the fire within. Disclaimer. The primary purpose of this podcast is to provide education. Information provided in this podcast is not intended to diagnose, prevent, treat, or cure any disease. Information given in this podcast must not be used in any legal capacity whatsoever, including but not limited to as a basis for expert witness testimony or establishing standard of care in a legal sense. Trigger warning. Some experiences shared in the podcast may be triggering to some audience members. User discretion is advised.
So, Vicki, what is your story?
Prita, it's so great to be here. My story is that, yes, I was a very enthusiastic young woman who decided to be a nurse, and at 16, off I went to a training hospital many miles from home. And unfortunately, I had two accidents quickly together that both impacted my neck. And my son was born 10 years later. He was not well and needed to be carried a lot. It was a lot of stress in the family, all that sort of stuff, you know, new mum, new baby, unwell baby, stressed mum. And my neck and shoulders didn't like it very much. And then that continued. And then about 10 years after that is when I had my neck and shoulders were so tense. I had injuries in both arms. I couldn't use either of my arms. And that's when I was dismissed from nursing. And I was devastated because I had never had, like, I wanted to be a nurse from 4. It was my dream. It was the one thing that I wanted to do. So I was pretty lost. And apart from not having a job and having all of these other responsibilities, it was quite overwhelming. And one of my therapists said to me, you should try Ortho-Bionomy, because I was seeking treatment. I'd been getting treatment every fortnight for 10 years and ended up in this state. And I had never heard of Ortho-Bionomy, but I went along to give it a try and was absolutely blown away with how gentle and how effective it was, and immediately decided to become a practitioner. Well, I immediately decided to do the home course. So you can use it for yourself and you can use it for your friends and family, right? So you're not a practitioner by far. So I did that, and just straight that weekend, I just knew this was where I was meant to be. It just felt so right. I felt like I was in the right place. I was with the right people. It was what I'd been looking for, but didn't know I was looking for. They're always the best surprises, aren't they? And so I signed up for the 5-year training and became an advanced practitioner, and have been doing that ever since. And as you said earlier, I had a friend who was this was back in the day when we didn't have mobile phones.
Yeah.
And we lived close together. Our children were the same age, and we used to spend a lot of time together. And she rang me when I got home from the course and said, I've been trying to get onto you all weekend. Where have you been? And I said, I've been on this amazing course. She said, come on over, have a cup of tea. So I did that. She said, show me what you've done. And she said, I've got one sore shoulder. So can you help me with that? So I'm there with my book, and I'm going, right. So, you know, the shoulder's a complicated joint, right? And I'm going, right. So you do. It was so awkward. Anyway, I went through the releases for the shoulder, and so we just continued with that cup of tea, and off I went home. The next morning, she rang me and she said, Vicki, we have to talk. I've broken her. And she said, when I went to bed last night, I had one old shoulder and one young shoulder. I want the rest to be young. When can I see you again? And she became my good friend referrer, and she would refer everybody to me, and then word of mouth seeped out, and I built a really lovely practice from that. And so my financial woes were lessened, and I found my true path of healing, and have been doing Ortho-Bionomy ever since 1998.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Thank you for sharing your story. I wanted to ask you another question. Obviously, have you ever faced any insecurities in life? And if you did, what were they, and how did you manage to work on that to make sure that it's gone, or if it's here, how do you manage with it?
Okay. I think anyone who doesn't have insecurities is probably a little out of balance.
So true.
I definitely had insecurities. So my friend really assisted me to get through my insecurities of how can I help people, because I was so inexperienced.
Yeah.
But I had a good heart, and I had my clients' interests at heart. And as a result, they got great results.
Yeah.
Always sought out really good coaches, because when you're learning something new, or when I'm advancing into something that's a little bit different, having someone who's gone before, who's got the experience, who's made the mistakes that I don't need to make,
Yeah.
and see the road ahead and say, this is the path, this is the map, this is where we're going, has been incredibly helpful. And yes, even now, I still get insecure about different things. And I think if you don't have insecurities from time to time, then you're actually not trying hard enough. You're stuck in your comfort zone.
So true.
Yeah. So if you've got insecurities, find a good friend, a friend who can be really honest, and or a really good coach, and quite often they'll hold your hand and get you through it.
Right. Is there any particular situation which have make you realize that, you know what, I've worked on it. I'm so proud of I had it, but I've worked on it. Is there any situation you can share with us, and for women who is hearing us and can learn from that?
Yeah. So back in about 2010, the internet started to get quite expansive.
Yes.
And I had always felt that Ortho-Bionomy was just so unknown, and it was a shame. It was almost a crime that people didn't know about Ortho-Bionomy. And so I decided that I was going to put Ortho-Bionomy on the internet map.
Amazing.
Yeah. Back then, it was not as easy as it is now. And I had a great coach, Kerwin Ray, and he's still coaching, and basically from Sydney. And he gave me a great deal of confidence and a great deal of motivation. And I wrote books, and I was getting trademarks, and I was doing all these things. But then at the same time in Queensland, we had the 2011 floods, the 2013 floods. We had a premier who was sacking 2,000 employees a month, and our economy really stalled. And because Ortho-Bionomy was one of those discretionary spends,
Yeah.
people didn't get money back from Medibank to have Ortho-Bionomy. We still don't get money back from healthcare funds, even though it's incredibly effective. And so my clientele really dropped. And I kept thinking, this is just one of those humps and hollows. It'll be fine. My sister kept saying, Vic, you got to get a job. And I'm going, no, it'll be all right. It'll be all right. Until eventually I realized, okay, I do need some financial assistance, and it's not coming out of the doldrums. And so I had to go back nursing. And so that was I felt like a failure at that time, because I'd worked so hard to get to where I was, and I was almost there, but not quite. I needed that extra few $1,000s to get me through that last piece to get out into the big world of the internet, and I hadn't been able to achieve it. And so that was really hard. And for about 10 years, I felt like I lost myself. I lost the confidence to be able to do that.
And how do you feel now, being able to do it? again?
Well, yeah, so things have changed as they do. You know, the one thing that we can be sure of is change. And so everything's changed. And I've been through several coaches until I finally found another coach that I can really work with. And this is how we discovered each other.
Yeah, true.
And so now I'm working with women who have back pain and teaching them how to relieve their pain and have just for life, basically, give them life skills. And it is so exciting to be meeting other amazing women like you. And we all support each other. So when I'm down days, I've got a group of people I can send a message out and say, hey, I need some help. Or does anyone know how to do this? What's the answer to this? You know, like I've got this question. How do I solve this? And within minutes, somebody's answering. And so I highly recommend any women who are wanting to go forward to find that wonderful community that supports you and rises you up and gives you the confidence to move forward, especially on those days when you feel like rubbish, because we all have them.
Yeah, true. I truly agree with you 100%. That's why I always say that everyone needs someone in their corner.
Yes.
You can't live on your own. You can't.
Yeah.
And amazing what you said. So beautiful to know. And it's so nice to be in such a good community where, you know, really you got that support. You go and ask help, or anyone sharing their success. How do they do that without even thinking, you know, like just giving. And that's so beautiful, isn't it?
Yes.
And you're right. That's how we met. And I think that all these relationships will go forever, because it's so amazing how many people we meet and how many people help us and is there for us as well. Thank you so much for sharing, Vicki. As you know, Kick-Ass Buddy is someone who is a supporting friend, mentor, colleague who encourages and motivates you to pursue your goal, helps you to overcome challenges, celebrate your success. And this person believes in you, offers guidance and feedback, and challenges you to push you beyond your comfort zone. Having a Kick-Ass Buddy can provide a valuable source of support and accountability, and can help you stay focused and motivated as you work towards your personal and professional aspiration. I want to ask you, who has been your Kick-Ass Buddy throughout your journey? And in your opinion, do you think having a supporting network, which I call in my own world the Kick-Ass Buddy, is it important to achieve success and achieve things that you want in life?
Well, speaking for myself, for my self-esteem, it's really important that I feel like I am achieving something, I'm giving something. I'm very much like, I'm one of those people, I go out somewhere and someone says, oh, I've got a sore neck. Oh, come over here, I'll help you with that. You know, it's like, I can't solve. Yeah, so a Kick-Ass Buddy, I have basically three categories for Kick-Ass Buddies. I have a buddy who's prepared to listen. So these are my two girlfriends, basically, both in business, because business people understand business people. People who aren't in business, it's very hard to have a Kick-Ass Buddy in business if they aren't in business, because they just don't get it. So yeah, she's in business, and she's one of those people I can ring on a moment's notice, and she'll let me know if she's busy or not. Very simple. And she can listen to what I'm saying, and she can hear what the complaint is, and then turn it around so that it becomes an asset. And she goes, if that was like this, would it be a problem? And I go, no, probably not. And she said, well, can you do that? Can you think about it this way? So that's one sort of Kick-Ass Buddy that, if you've got one of those, definitely rise them to the top of the tree. The other Kick-Ass Buddy is another girlfriend in business, and she, again, will listen to what's going on for me, and then she will say something like, so what's your role in this? How did you come to be here? How did this come to be in your life? It's like, ooh, it's about taking responsibility. It's about really understanding how I allowed something to happen, whether it be good or not, you know. And so that's another sort of Kick-Ass Buddy who's an absolute gem to have, because they are on your side.
Yeah.
prepared to let you get away with any sort of story that, oh, I'm a victim, this happened to me. They will always bring you up to, okay, I was part of this story. I was part of helping make this happen. And then the third one is your coach. And your coach needs to be someone who has done what you want to do, has done it really well, has made the mistakes, and is willing to share wholeheartedly their journey and to also guide you along the way. And so I'm very fortunate in the coaching program that I'm in. We have four coaches, all different types. One's really good with strategy. One's really good with understanding personalities. One's really good with emotional stuff. And the other one's a good listener. And so you've got these four people that you can call, I can call at any time. And it's been an amazing journey to be able to have that sort of support. And then the community that they've created with people like you, Preeta, who are there to help support as well. So we have the parachute, and then we have the soft landing with all of these wonderful people. So if you can find a community like that, definitely go for it. And if you don't know that where there is one, talk to Preeta, because she knows how to find it.
Yeah, that's so true. Having a community is very important. And you rightly said that. I always said in the 5 people that is very close to me, the first one I start with my coach always, and then I come back to my friends, because I know no matter what, they will always be there for me. But to get the right person to make you achieve your dreams and make you achieve your goals and know where you are and work on the mindset, help you building yourself with each step, you having the insecurities, make you work on it in a couple of hours instead of taking years. I think that's what we should do, everyone should do. And it's amazing, because once we know about that coaching industry, we understand how it helps us. What I've seen, we coaches, we all have our coaches. Like, you want to have the well-being, you want to have this, because you know that, why should I wait where I know someone have already walked the path.
Yes.
And that's amazing. And coming back to your other kick-ass buddies, it's so wonderful to have friends who is here that will advise you and will not just tell you or just sugarcoat things. Will really show you the way, because they want you to grow, they want to uplift you.
Yes.
So beautiful.
Yeah, and they also see the value. That they can see the value in me when I can't.
Exactly.
And having people believe in me and see how wonderful I am for the world when I'm feeling less than wonderful is just it's a gift. It really is a gift.
It's a gift indeed. It's a gift. And when I started my coaching business, I didn't really think about the coaching business until my kick-ass buddy told me, you know what, you're helping already. Everyone is getting good results. Why don't you make it your work? Like, how can I do that? You just help people. Like, I didn't even know how to put that as a business plan. How do you work it out? But thanks to her, I'm here and I'm serving and I'm helping people. And most of it, I'm helping myself on a daily basis.
Yes,
Amazing.
yes. As you help others, you help yourself as well. Yes, it's really interesting how that works. I love it.
Yeah, thank you. And have another question for you, Vicki, especially because you were a nurse before and then you had your business. Based on your experience, what is that practical advice or insight that you would give to the working women looking to advance in their career or even be financially independent? Some women who was not working want to work. What is the one advice that you will give to them?
If you're in business, you need to know about money.
That's the truth.
Absolutely. Coming from a nursing background, I was all about giving and didn't really have a business background. And yes, there's been times when it's really held me back. And so find someone who can teach you how to understand money, how to project, how to save, how to have goals with money. It's so important because if you don't have the cash behind you, it's really hard. And that's why my business failed. The first time I tried to get on the internet, I didn't have that money mindset, and I just kept thinking it'll be all right, it'll be all right, it'll be all right. overnight. And it wasn't. And then it affected me for a really long time. Definitely have coaches and believe in yourself. Really, really believe in your skills and ask people, why am I your friend? What is my value to you? And they'll go, oh, don't be silly, of course, but just keep asking that question. And eventually someone will come up with the gold that's in there that's just you. And you can work with that because that's your unique selling point, as they say.
Yeah.
Really know who you serve, really know that you serve well, that you give your best, and find those who support you in that. So they're my key pointers for people to succeed in business.
Thank you for that. The last question, as you know, navigating through challenges, everyone has this experience, unfortunately. So what's the one piece of wisdom that you would share with women facing personal or professional obstacles? As you know, like there's so many people out there who is in the dark and doesn't really believe in themselves, doesn't think that they won't be able to come out of it, where we know that every challenges or every problem, there's a solution. You just need to work. So what would be your piece of advice, wisdom to them?
First of all, understand that nothing stays the same, that how things are right now, whether they're incredibly good or whether they're incredibly bad, they're going to change. And you have control over that. And the way you have control is with experience and knowledge. So find those people to support you. Also believe in your heart's desire, because there's something very, very special about the human spirit that drives us forward. So I lost myself for that 10 years where I was just thought, oh, I'm just going to have to be a nurse for the rest of my life and do a little bit of Ortho-Bionomy on the side because I kept moving, and when you move, it's really hard to move a practice. And then all of a sudden one day I just thought, you know what? It was during the lockdown. Everyone was locked down. Everyone was at home. I couldn't have a practice because of the way things were. And it looked pretty disastrous. But that's when the spark came. It's like, now's the perfect time. Everybody's on Zoom.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can get this started on Zoom. And it's taken a little bit of manipulation to get me there because I'm no spring chicken anymore. And so technology and all that sort of stuff does have its challenges for me. And some days I feel incredibly blonde. It's like, oh my goodness gracious, how can I not know this? But again, have people around you that can support you, who do have that knowledge and can guide you through. It's so worthwhile to follow your dreams and just deal with the uncertainties. They're absolutely going to be there, and become comfortable with being uncomfortable, but get good advice. Definitely follow good advice and take it. Like, just don't ask for it. Take the good advice, take the action, and then you'll see what works for you and what doesn't work for you.
Yeah, love it. You just say the right thing, take the action, because what happens is that many times we ask for advice, but then we just don't take the action. But taking the action makes things happen.
Yes, so I have an accountability buddy, and so she's different from my other buddies. She's my accountability buddy. I keep her accountable. She keeps me accountable. I just had a call with her just before you, and it's really good. It's we push each other a little bit, and she was trying to do something. She's the same age as me, sort of that non-internet age, and I said, right, you got to get this done. Do it now. I've got my phone open. I'm waiting to see it. What, now? Yes, now. And so, yeah, just having someone on your team who wants results now, wants you to step out of that comfort zone, step into the unknown. I said, I don't care if it's not perfect. You can change it tomorrow, but let's get something up now. And having that support, having that encouragement, it helps me to be helping someone, and to see us both grow together is just delightful.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much. And I will end on that. What you're saying is take action, because you can listen to the podcast, you can listen to anyone. If you don't take action, nothing's going to change.
Yes.
So taking action. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Vicki, for sharing your incredible journey. And to our listeners, thank you for being part of this uplifting episode of The Rise of She. Remember, our journey matters immensely. Stay tuned for more empowering stories, and until next time, take care and keep rising.
If you have been inspired by today's episode, make sure to subscribe and follow The Rise of She to stay connected and never miss a moment of empowerment. Join me on Instagram and Facebook, where we'll continue to fuel the flames of progress and self-improvement together. Find me at Prita Balaki. Remember, we are unstoppable forces bound to inspire and empower one another. Until next time, Prita says adios, ladies. Stay tuned for our next empowering encounter.